Here's how you get ahead of 99% of the people in 6 months to 1 year. The one word answer is awareness. If you place a frog in boiling water, it'll immediately jump out to avoid being burned. However, if you place the frog in cool water and slowly heat it up, the frog will become accustomed to the rising temperature and eventually be boiled alive without even realizing it. The moral of the story is that we must be aware of our surroundings and the changes that are happening around us and not become numb to the gradual changes that may ultimately harm us. We must pay attention and take action when necessary to avoid ending up in a bad situation. If you're like most people, you don't want to live an ordinary life. What's the point? Why not do something different? Why not shake things up? That different can be good different or bad different. I tried both, then I came up with the best way to get ahead. This monk mode has 4 steps. Before we take a look at the 4 steps, I want you to know that you can achieve both using this technique. Long-term sustainable happiness as well as short-term spikes. I've done both, but finally settled on a long-term sustainable option for happiness. In 2016, when I got out of my longest relationship, I did not have money for rent. I weighed over 200 pounds, and then at one point, I did not have money for gas, so I borrowed $1,000 from my brother. Today, I have over $20 million, and it feels great. What has worked for me will work for anyone who follows this process. For many people, short-term happiness is defined by money, sex, drugs, and fame. Long-term happiness can be defined in many different ways, but my favorite one is defined in the book, Power of Meaning. Emily is very talented, and she talks about 4 pillars of achieving meaning, which ultimately brings happiness: purpose, belonging, transcendence, and the story you tell. Purpose. It is important to lead a fulfilling life, that you search for purpose in your life. And for many, that comes from kids or their work. Next, for belonging, connecting with others and especially people who accept you for who you are is really, really important. That brings tremendous joy. Engaging in transcendence. This can come from your hobbies like singing and dancing or mountain biking and hiking. Something that helps you in achieving that state when you just lose yourself and forget about everything else that's going on in your life. Learning from past traumas. It is important to have stories that are redemptive, and your happiness matters in the story that you choose to tell, and it often takes years to create that story. This framework is one in many, but it is not something that is new. Even the famous Greek philosopher Epicurus from back in 370 BC talks about the fundamentals of happiness as friends, freedom, and analyzed life. Friends is similar to belonging, and it is related to living with friends. Freedom is regarding self-sufficiency and not having to be dependent on others. And finally, analyze life so that you know where you came from and where you're going. You pick your own definition of happiness and apply this monk mode framework to achieve that. So, step 1 in monk mode is M. M for meditate. When you start meditating, then you're able to see things clearly. You may think that meditation is hard. Yes, it is extremely hard, but that is the only way that you'll be able to see things very clearly. You want to get clarity. If you do not have the clarity, then you would not know what actions would lead to what results, and then you would stay in that same miserable situation. What if I said I'll give you $1,000 for every hour that you meditate? Would you do that? Well, I'm telling you now, that is how much it is worth. If I look at the hours I've meditated since 2016 and the amount of money I made because of the clarity that I got, it comes to more than $1,000 per hour of meditation. You have to believe that. There are 15 other famous people, including athletes, who have talked about attributing their success to meditation. So just command your brain and make yourself believe that every hour you meditate, you're going to get $1,000 deposited in your account. Step 2 is objectify. The meaning of objectify is to express often something abstract in a concrete form. So in this step, you would let your imagination run wild and you would do 2 exercises. Number 1, express your dream life in 1 year in a journal. If you like to draw, then you could do that as well, or create a combination and add some digital visuals as well. You need to do this in vivid details. You would answer the question, what are you doing in 1 year from now? What place are you living in? What does your day look like? Who are the people in your life? What do you look like? Who do you wake up with? Secondly, in a very similar way, the second exercise would be about visualizing what would your nightmare life look like. Imagine if you woke up after 1 year and you did not go to the gym and you're really fat. Imagine if you're alone, you have no one to talk to that cares for you. You are just mindlessly scrolling through Instagram and TikTok and watching porn and drinking yourself to sleep every day and having unhealthy food and waking up dehydrated and smelling like an ashtray and marijuana. Keep going. Imagine driving a beat down car with dings and working the minimum wage job. Imagine not having money and hence not having the freedom to do what you want, when you want, where you want, and with whoever you want. How much would that suck? Fear is an emotion that is fundamental to human experience, and it plays an important role in our survival and well-being. From a scientific perspective, fear is a part of the body's physiological response to potential danger, and it is closely linked to the brain's limbic system, which is responsible for regulating emotions and memory. When we encounter a threat, whether real or perceived, our body's fight or flight response is triggered. This response involves the release of adrenaline and other hormones, which prepare the body to either confront the threat or flee from it. This response is an automatic and instinctive survival mechanism that has evolved over millions of years to help us respond quickly and effectively to potential danger. In addition to this physiological response, fear can also be a powerful motivator for behavior. When we're afraid of something, we are more likely to take action to ourselves and avoid the threat. This can include seeking safety, avoiding risky situations, or taking steps to address the underlying cause of the fear. In summary, fear can be a powerful motivator that can help you stay safe and make important decisions in your monk mode. After you've taken the first 2 steps, you've been meditating, so now you would have the clarity, you're staying away from the toxins like alcohol and weed, and you would start to get this next level of awareness. You would notice that you would get so many answers automatically as you've started observing things. You have also objectified your dream life and you've created a visual for your nightmare life as well. Now is the time to make a plan. This is step 3, navigate. Coming up with a navigation plan, it starts with setting up SMART goals. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Once you've defined your goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Determine a timeline for each step in your plan. In this navigation phase, there are 3 things to keep in mind that would be potential obstacles, environment, and support system. Identify potential obstacles that could prevent you from achieving your goal and develop strategies to overcome them. If it is people who distract you from your goal, eliminate them. I don't mean eliminate them like kill them, but I mean you need to just go away and disappear. You need a good environment. Just go away somewhere remote. Change your number or go to a new city. Nothing matters more than you achieving your goals. When you want to bring a huge change, you need to eliminate the old triggers and create new ones. And finally, you need a support system. Surround yourself with support system that can encourage and motivate you, and they can see the goodness in you. This can include friends, family, or a mentor. Their only job is to support. No fault finding. You have to realize everything yourself. No negativity, only encouragement. No should have, could have, or do this better. Only words of encouragement and appreciation. If you don't have anyone in your circle who could do that, go ahead and spend $85 and get a therapist. There are several options. Two of the most popular options are BetterHelp and Talkspace. I'm not sponsored by any of them, but I'm a member, so I can send you 2 free sessions. Just leave a comment down below. Last but not least, our step 4 is Kaizen. Once you have very clearly visualized everything and have a navigation plan, then it's time to run Kaizen. This is the way to make things better by doing little improvements every single day. It's like taking small steps to become better at something, like practicing your workout or honing your speaking skills a little bit every single day. It is a way to make big changes by doing little bit at a time. This has the power of compounding effect. Imagine if you improve 5% every day, and then by the end of the year, you would have improved by 33,000%. That is the power of Kaizen. Of course, I'm assuming that by now you know what needs to be done, but you just need to not procrastinate. If you lack that motivation, then you must go back to the M of the monk framework, meditate. Once you have meditated, you're able to get out of your body and observe yourself. When you observe, you would have the answers naturally come to you, and you would have increased focus. You would quit drinking, you would start exercising, you would eliminate everything that's negative in your life, and you would just disappear. Finally, in the monk mode, it's all about Kaizen, continuous improvement, small changes that would take effect over a longer period of time. And in 6 to 12 months, you would definitely win. Are you inspired yet? If you want to get a jump start on getting into the monk mode, you can watch my video where I went away for 10 days and became a monk, leaving my life as a CEO. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so we can continue to bring more such content for you.